Good morning, everyone, to the Rise and Slay morning show. This is your host, Rochelle Slay, or Slay Queen Hemingway, the CEO and founder of A Slay to Success. Yes, it is Tuesday, 7 May of 2024, and it is 10 a.m. in the morning, and I'm here to kickstart your week. This is where I help you to empower yourself with strategies, ignite your success, and elevate your image and own your power. All these things are being taught through the lens of personal branding. This is what the Rise and Slay morning show is all about. What does slay mean? Slay means to kill it, to dominate it, and to nail it, to be on point, to impress greatly, and to dream big and work hard until you own it. It is also an acronym: stay ready, be ready, lead out loud, a sense of community, a sense of family, and knowing you are built to last. So if you are here with me this morning, please make sure that you are letting us know. And I've already got Dr. Beckwith with us, my Air Force sister in arms. And she says, good morning. And also she ready. Okay. She is ready because she is a morning person as well. And yes, Chevy is in the building. She is also a morning queen. All right. Thank you so much, Queen. You know what this is all about. All right. Because I am the author of 3 books, and my latest 2 books, y'all, I have them here, is number 1, how about we elevating our image? All right. It is a guidebook, and it is about 60 pages long, but I give you all the tips, trips on how you can elevate your image. And I do that through my fashion, of course, as we know. And I also got one for anyone over the age of 40, women specifically over the age of 40. If you want to build a memorable personal brand to gain lucrative opportunities, this right here, I tell you again, all the secrets, because since I retired, that's what I've been able to do. And so I put it all in here, and specifically talking to my queens. So y'all, this morning, what we're going to talk about? We are going to be talking about your virtual presence, okay? Because I have seen it all. As we all know, things changed during the pandemic, right? And we went to these virtual spaces. So we got Zoom, we got Skype, we got Teams, we got Ring, we got all these virtual platforms. Well, why am I sharing all this with you all? Because it affects your personal brand and how you showing up on the virtual screen, right? We have had lots of people forget about why they're on the screen, like what their image is going to look like and how their presence is going to elevate their brand. You are elevating your brand during your virtual setting, your meetings and whatnot. So why not show up? Okay, we need to show up. So what does virtual presence really mean? It's more than just being present on the screen. It's about projecting confidence. It's about projecting professionalism, and most importantly, authenticity through the screen. All right. Just picture this as your TV show. That's what I'm doing. All right. When I look at the news, I see how they're showing up. All right. They are dressed from head to toe. All right. They are not stepping out there, okay, with, I would say is, with your pajama pants on, okay? They don't have that on, even though you can only see from the torso on up. So we need to think about that as we are on these virtual platforms, because it's about commanding attention, engaging with your audience, and making a memorable impact, even in the virtual setting. So when it comes to virtual presence, appearance is the top of the iceberg, y'all. Our attire, our grooming standards, the way that our presentation, our volume, how we're sitting up in the chair, dressing the part. Okay, that is what I'm going to specifically be talking about through this morning. So our background, okay? Let me just share with you all where I started out in the virtual space. I have a slide here because this is what I was showing up when we first went into these Zoom calls and, all the other things, right? This was my background. There is a lot going on behind me. And I had no idea how much of a distractor it was for other people until one of my business coaches says, hey, can I give you some feedback? And I said, yeah, absolutely. And they said, I hate your background. It's got a whole bunch of stuff in the back. And we are so distracted by all of that. And we're sometimes missing out on your message. So again, okay, I took that. I'm going to change it up. Look at my background now. Very simple. Okay. It has my personality, of course, in it. I've got my sleigh sign right here. I can't really point to it right here. And because that is my personal brand, I've got a copy of my book and my books lineup. The background, y'all, got, from Target. And I've got a stand behind it because I wanted to block out all the stuff that's on the wall. So we have to understand when we are showing up on these platforms that they need to look as if you are ready to communicate, convey, and leave a lasting impression on your audience. So it goes beyond just our looks. It's also about our body language and our communication style, because our posture, our facial expressions, our gestures, they all convey that confidence and engagement that we are seeking. You're welcome. You're welcome. Because I think that sometimes we don't understand what other people are seeing when we are looking at them and we see what's going on in the background. All right. So why does it matter? Because in this digital world that we're living in right now, first impressions are often formed in virtual spaces. All right. Let me say that again. First impressions are often formed in virtual spaces. And whether you're attending a virtual meeting, giving a presentation, or you're networking with your colleagues, your virtual presence is going to set the tone for how you are perceived and how you are remembered. So we have to understand before we click on the join meeting button, okay, because all of us have the join meeting button. Before we click on, figure out what are we presenting? What are we wearing? Making sure we're looking the part that we want to convey from head to toe, because this is all about personal branding. What I'm speaking to is about personal branding. Personal branding is about you, and it's the art of shaping how others perceive us. It's our unique identity, our digital footprint, and our personal promise to the world. In these virtual environments, where our first impressions are often formed through the screens, personal branding takes on a greater significance. All right. So, yes, Chevy says, people will always look at what you have behind you. Yes, they will. And they probably more fixated on that than when you are speaking. Okay, so let's make sure that we have that background that we want to show up in. So the key components of personal branding, especially when it comes to the virtual spaces, is authenticity, consistency, and differentiation. Okay, again, authenticity, consistency, and differentiation. Okay, these are more than important than ever in virtual spaces. Authenticity is really about being your true self. Okay, and Dr. Rhonda Beckwith said, I'm always working on my personal presence. Yes, always working on it, because you are the persons that they see, and they want to be able to trust in what you're saying. But when we got a whole bunch of stuff going on, or if we're not looking like we're ready, we can lose our credibility and what we built so far in just a matter of seconds. All right. So let's not miss out on these digital platforms that we got going on right now. Okay. Now, also, consistency is about presenting a cohesive and recognizable image across all your digital platforms, from our LinkedIn profile to our Zoom background. All right. So take a look at what all your digital platforms right now, the pictures that you have is that what you want to portray? Do some of them need to be deleted and updated? Okay, because our physical appearance changes from time to time. My hair is different than it was when I was in the military. Okay, again, for those that don't know, I served 30 years in the United States Air Force hood. And so my hair was slicked back and it was in a bun. So as I have evolved, and I have evolved every year since I retired, I've been retired for almost 3 years, that requires me to update my platforms and making sure it is the image that I want to portray. So And you have to be different. All right. People are showing up the same in these virtual spaces. Have you seen those backgrounds where, everybody has the same background, especially when you're in a work environment? And you can't get away from that because that's what you are having to use. But when you're in that background or whatnot, you have to show up a little bit differently so you can stand out from the crowd. So you have to find out what that is. If that's your clothes, if that's your language, if that's your communication style, and you got to leverage it to carve out your niche in this digital landscape that we're in. So why is personal branding important in these virtual environments? Because in a world where digital connections have become our norm, our online presence is often the first and sometimes only impressions others have for us. So we have to be investing in our personal brand because we can shape how others perceive us. We can build trust and credibility, and we can open doors to new opportunities in the virtual realm. And I can speak on that. I've been on the virtual platforms. We've been on them since the pandemic, but after I retired, got on these virtual platforms and networking and meeting new people, I have received so many speaking engagements since I've done that. So on an average, during the week, I'm on the virtual platforms between the Slay to Success show, between the Rise and Morning Talk show. I'm on there with virtual connections, meetings, webinars, seminars, and so forth. And I am showing up just like you see here in this professional setting. So that way I am the business card. I am an image consultant, a certified image consultant, a personal brand expert. And so I'm having to walk the walk and talk the talk. All right. So let's embrace the power of personal branding in these virtual environments and use it to elevate our digital presence, amplify our voice, and make a meaningful impact in the virtual world. Because when it comes to leave a lasting impression in the digital age, your personal brand is your ultimate secret weapon. It's your secret weapon. All right. So again, grooming. All right. So we have to, before we hop on these calls, y'all, before we start like, oh my goodness, your supervisor or someone that you've newly met, you're like, you know what? We need to meet on a call. Can you meet in like 5 minutes? Yes, I can meet in 5 minutes, but make sure that you stop and look at yourself in the mirror, style your hair, groom your facial hair if you have facial hair. All right, for all my listeners and my men that are in the building, okay, ensure your nails are clean and you're presentable, because remember, a polished appearance exudes confidence and professionalism. Hey. So you're welcome. Absolutely. Because I think these are the things that we can speak to that sometimes people aren't really thinking about or thinking through. So you're welcome. And thank you for being here, Leslie, in the building. That's right. We are here talking about our virtual presence in these digital spaces and how we showing up, and particularly in our personal brand. Okay, so grooming, got to get that down, Pat. Our attire, we got to dress for success, period, point blank. Dress for success every time because it reflects your personal style and aligns with the tone of the meeting. All right. I have different categories of clothes for each presentation, meeting, coffee chat that I have on the virtual space. All right. Because it's important for me to show up and meet the tone to which the meeting is required for, right? So we got to opt for a more professional attire that makes us feel confident and empowered. This is my workspace. All right. I don't go in into a 9 to 5 job. I retired and I became a solo entrepreneur. This is my workspace. So if I was to go into a meeting, okay, in person, I'm not wearing my pajamas. Okay. So why would I do that here in the virtual space? All right. I have seen people showing they got boxers on and they got, whatever else bottoms they got going on or not. All right. Emergencies and accidents happen. If there's an emergency and I have to jump up, y'all going to see the same pants that match this jacket, okay, from head to toe. And our backgrounds, okay, again, clutter free, choosing a neutral, professional background, not getting distracted from the message that you're trying to portray, adding a pop of color, okay. You know what my color is, y'all. It is pink. You will always see the pink being portrayed, okay, and showcasing my personality, because that's what I decided that I wanted to step out in. All right, our communication style, we have to be clear, we have to show up confident, and we have to be very concise. We got to pay attention to our tone of voice, our pace of our speech, and our volume to ensure we're engaging and being very understood, and using the right gestures and facial expressions to which the conversation calls for. All right, so that is what we are talking about right now. You are right. We have to come correct. Yes, we do. These are missed opportunities. When we're in the virtual space on these digital platforms, I have seen where people say, you know what? I just feel like I'm going to be on the couch today, right? I'm just going to put on my sweatshirt, all right, or my t-shirt, and I'm going to show up in the virtual space because, it's at my house. And that's fine, but I'm here to showcase, to elevate your image. That's my job. I help you to elevate your image so you can get the lucrative opportunities, okay? As far as you want to speak engagements, you want more clients, you want to land that dream job, right? You want to be able to go to that special event. Yeah. And Shabby said, I feel good when I get dressed up in the morning instead of wearing exercise clothes. Absolutely. You know what I do, y'all? And I've been doing it since I retired from the military. I get fully dressed. What does that mean? From head to toe. I'm not wearing particularly a business suit, but I'm wearing an outfit that I can quickly get into my car, drive somewhere if I need to, and, not having to be flustered about it. So as soon as I get done with my workout, I go straight into getting dressed, put my makeup on, okay? Because that's what I do. I like to have, feeling fresh, especially after workout, y'all. After workout, I'm like feeling really good about myself. So making sure that we are showcasing this professionalism that we need, because too many times we say we want to do this and we want to do that. I'm like, well, okay, well, how are you going about doing that? All right. So looking presentable, all right, is key. You are on TV. This is my TV channel. Okay. If I am on my TV channel, I am looking the part as to I would like for people to listen on in. So we just went over a little bit about the virtual presence, how important personal branding speaks to that, right? You get fully dressed as well. That's right, as to include the jewelry. Get fully dressed because you feel more ready. You feel more confident. You feel more engaged. All right. And people will do the same for you. They will reciprocate that because they're like, oh, you showing up. I'm going to show up too. Okay. We've seen people being tired and yawning and carrying on these virtual platforms. They ain't ready. Y'all, they ain't ready for it. And then they wonder why nobody's paying attention to them. I'm like, you are boring. Okay. You're making people not even want to pay attention to you. You got a lot of things going on in the background. You got a lot of distraction going on. We don't necessarily know what you're talking about. And so we have to be very mindful. These are opportunities. Virtual platform presentations, all right? They are opportunities to gain more opportunities that you are specifically looking for. So making sure, okay? And then Rhonda says, I feel like I'm sick in the hospital if I have pajamas on. Yes, I feel the same way too. I am not the type of person, like you said, if I don't feel right, even if I don't feel good, I have gotten up, taken a shower, put on regular clothes. All right. I don't put on pajamas. I don't like lay around in pajamas all day because it's a certain mindset that goes along with that. It's a mindset. Oh, let me get relaxed. Let me feel like I'm not doing too much. Maybe I'm going to have a lazy day. Even if I have a lazy day, I have sweatpants on and a t-shirt. My pajamas look different. Okay. And I ain't going to go into that. Just saying, my pajamas look different. All right. So if there's nothing else more, or you have a question, if you're like wondering, hey, what should I be doing in the virtual space? Let's talk about it. I'm here to answer your questions if you like, but we specifically talked about our virtual presence and realizing how important it is for us to show up. Okay. And making sure we show up and we look professional. We're conveying the confidence. We're projecting the professionalism that we would like to project. And we have the right appearance, that background, our body language, and our communication style, because we can build credibility and make a lasting impact in the digital landscape. We can. And I know sometimes people will think, oh, this is just way too much. Well, guess what? If you're not looking to get lucrative opportunities, then do what you do with your digital platforms. So this has been your Slay Queen, your host for the Rise and Slay morning show. I hope that you all have an amazing week and keep on slaying till you can't slay no more. So thank you so much for y'all who came here on the live. So Dr. Rhonda Beckwith, thank you. Chevy, thank you. Leslie, thank you for being here. And if you come back and watch the replay, go ahead and put in hashtag replay, add your comments. I would love to have a continuing conversation with you all. So if there's nothing else, I will see you when I see you. And that will be next Tuesday. Next Tuesday, because we will not be having a Slay to Success talk show on Sunday because it's Mother's Day. So happy Mother's Day to all my mothers out there before Mother's Day. In case I have not seen you, you're welcome, Monica, and thank you for being here. And you're welcome, Chevy. Thank you for being here. And yes, Dr. Beckwith, I will, and you will too. Okay, so I will see you all very, very soon. See you when I see you. Bye-bye.